Being raped whilst you have female genital mutilation, type 3,
Yeah, it's a mad thing.
is pure cruelty. I cannot describe it as anything else. It's pure cruelty. This man pinned me down.
The world today succumbs to various tragedies and devastating scenarios, most especially the African continent, and a good example being DRC Congo. Congo is facing the world's worst humanitarian crisis. Life in Congo is unbearable as the Congolese face genocide, massive poverty, hunger strikes where children are starving to death, displacement of people, discrimination, widespread violation of human rights, gender-based violence. In the Congo, women face nightmares day in, day out. Watch this video and you will understand when I tell you that the world is more cruel to a girl child.
J'étais violée tous les jours, parfois jusqu'à 10 fois par jour.
Par une personne ou par plusieurs?
Non, une seule personne, le commandant, mais c'était tous les jours. Le jour de mon enlèvement, 5 hommes m'ont violée. Puis, ils m'ont amenée à leur campement. Et là, le chef m'a dit que je serais sa femme.
Tumaini n'a pas tardé à tomber enceinte. L'accouchement a duré plusieurs jours avec de graves complications. Pour en finir, les miliciens ont tout simplement découpé la jeune fille. Son bébé était mort-né, son appareil génital entièrement détruit. Tumaini s'est retrouvée avec des fistules, des déchirures entre sa vessie, son vagin et son rectum.
Ma santé empirait chaque jour. Je n'arrivais plus à retenir mon urine ni mes selles. Je vivais dans des conditions horribles, dormant à même le sol, sur un lit de branches et de feuillage. Mon ravisseur a décidé un jour de me conduire dans la brousse. Après avoir marché longtemps, il m'a abandonné sur la route. Alors j'ai continué à marcher, je suis arrivée chez moi.
No one deserves to pass through this, most especially not our children. Assault is the most painful experience that a child can ever go through. As for now, this 13-year-old is traumatized because the images of what's happened in her past keeps on tormenting her. Here is another painful reminder.
A 13-year-old child has now given birth to the baby of the man who essayed her in Mississippi because of the strict anti-abortion laws the state has enforced. It's gonna get a little graphic, so viewer discretion is definitely advised. For safety reasons, they have given her another name, Ashley, and so that's what we're gonna call her. Ashley was playing outside when a man approached her, attacked her, and did what he did to her. At that point in time, even though she was over the age of 10, she was never taught how babies are made, what that man's actions actually meant, because first of all, the school didn't teach her, and also her mother just thought she was too young to learn all of this, which we will talk about later. But yeah, Ashley was very much ashamed of what happened to her. She told nobody. And as time progressed, she got more and more sick until her mom dragged her to the hospital, where it was then revealed that she was pregnant. Unfortunately, by that time, she was too pregnant for Mississippi laws and also, not important enough to make an exception. Even though in a lot of emergency cases, these types of doctors can't really do anything and don't really care because they're too afraid to, lose their license, get sued, because these states are very strict when it comes to, protecting children. Ashley and her mom were told that the nearest place they could get the pregnancy terminated was Chicago. And unfortunately, since they come from a poor area, they did not have any financial means to, take some time off, book a hotel room, go to the hospital, get the pregnancy terminated, and then, come back to Mississippi. So without any other option, this 13-year-old had to have a baby. She is in 7th grade. We've told you times and times again, they don't care about children. They don't care. They really do not care. They only care about birth. They couldn't care less what happens to the baby now after it was born. If it's loved, treated right, if the mother's too traumatized to, connect to the child. The mother who's still a child herself, by the way. If the family even has enough money to take care of the child, to feed the child. They don't care about the potential future that 13-year-old could have had. They are pro-birthers, nothing else. The sad thing is you could show these types of people this case and they would still justify their actions and being like, oh, that's just an anomaly. Or tell the girl that she is lucky to have a baby, to be a mother, to be blessed by God like this. And it's even more heartbreaking thinking about how this pregnancy came to be. She doesn't just have to live with the trauma of having a literal child, but also with the pain on how that baby was conceived. And not to forget the trauma this baby will have once it grows up. knowing what his mother went through and who his father is. And now to the thing I talked about in the beginning. This is in no way, shape, or form Ashley's mother's fault. But this case, once again, just shows how important it is to have these types of conversations with your kids. And no, there is no thinking, oh, this kid is too young to learn this. Because people like that man who hurt Ashley, they don't wait for them to reach a certain age. With my nephew and niece, we taught them about their body as soon as they were able to comprehend words. We taught them how to realize if an adult is behaving inappropriately towards them and who to go to. And if, God forbid, something ever happens to them, that they can always come to us. And there will be no shame, no judgment, just help and love and support. And this is also why education like this should be mandatory in schools and kindergartens. Like where I live, it is mandatory. I think we had that in 3rd or 4th grade latest. This isn't indoctrination or inappropriate behavior, as some people might want to call it, the same type of people who are pro-birth. It's something that's being taught because it can save a child's life. So please, as a sibling, a guardian, or a parent, make sure your children are educated. And please know that you as citizens, you have the power to change these things. You can protest. It is your choice who you vote for. You are the one deciding who goes to office. You are the one deciding who is allowed to make these legislations and these laws. That is your power, and don't ever let anybody else tell you differently. You've done it before. You can do it again.
Okay, it's best to clarify that choosing to violate another person is not all about drinking too much, trying to have a good time, or getting carried away. Nor is it all about the type of clothes someone was wearing, how they were acting, or the kind of relationship the person has with the one who has been abused. Violating another person is a choice. These things keep on recycling over and over again till date. And the male-dominated will keep on committing such serious felonies because the government is turning a blind eye. And such incidents aren't spoken about because we know the consequences. We will be
5 years old, 7 years, 9 years, 6 years old. These are girls already sold into marriage, many too young to even know their own ages. 8 years. They're often prompted by their guardians. 6 years. The husbands they'll go to are a decade or more older. The last to talk is 5 years old. The youngest, in her father's arms, is a 7-month-old baby given in lieu of medical bills. The girls have no say. This in one of Afghanistan's poorest villages. And the deprivation here means girls are being sold into marriage earlier and more often. There's not enough room in the tent for all the parents who want to show us their young daughters they've sold. We don't want to sell them, she says, but we're poor and we have to eat. Hajira had fetched an above-average price, more than $6,000. Then she got injured, and the deal was called off. I'd already sold her to a family, her father tells us, but they brought her back when she got injured and said they couldn't take care of her, so I never got any of the money. Now he's on the hunt for another buyer. Once final payment's made for his eldest daughter, she'll be sent to her new family. She wants to study and is too young to question what's happening.
When you got married?
The world has always been so cruel to a girl child. An estimated 132 million girls are out of school, with the glimmer statistics indicating that 9 million of them will never go back to their classrooms. And they are denied education because of customary attitudes that implies educating boys over girls. Here is another painful reminder.
An 8-year-old child bride dies from maternal bleeding after her wedding night. So this happened about 10 years ago in Yemen, but I only learned about it now. There's nothing else that hurts more to know about than this. This is probably the worst thing ever in history of disgusting pedophilic acts. An 8-year-old Yemeni girl died on maternal bleeding on her wedding night after marrying a man 5 times her age. A 40-year-old man did this to her. The wedding night and after intercourse, she suffered from bleeding and uterine rupture, which caused her death. They took her to a clinic, but the medic could not save her life. In these kinds of cases, I can't ask for God to give mercy to people. I cannot. because yes, they don't know what's happening. They don't know they don't know what to expect because they don't, first of all, know true God. But also I cannot tell him to show mercy on these people. These people don't deserve merciness, but she does. And a lot of people will be like, well, how does God exist if this kind of stuff happens? The thing is that God has a special place reserved for her in heaven. And God, who knows everything before it even happens, he definitely had this innocent, beautiful girl. That was her purpose in life. Maybe this left a message, maybe this 10 years ago, and it's trending right now, definitely left a message on what to expect and how we can help solve these problems and just bring attention to this kind of matter because this always happens. It's very sad. I feel so bad for her parents, but where were they? Where were her parents? And this is awful. He clearly looks religious. They profess that they know God, but in works they deny him, being abominable and disobedient, and unto every good work reprobate, meaning wicked or immoral. John 16 says, these things that I've spoken unto you, that whosoever killeth you will think that he does God's service. And these things they do unto you because they have not known the Father nor me, Jesus Christ.
As a parent, the most painful experience is witnessing your own child being sent 6 deep feet, and there is nothing you could do about it.
I believe that every woman and girl should be granted the respect and the dignity they deserve. I believe that we should live in a world where every girl can maximize her potential and have a bright future full of enormous opportunity and success in front of her because her gender does not limit her capability. I believe that every woman and girl should she desire, should have her voice heard.